It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
Well, thanks for being here. This is Car Con Carne. It's a Q101 podcast. I'm James Van Alstyne, and Car Con Carne is sponsored by Easy Automation, easy-automation.net. If you're looking to transform your home, your office, or business into a smart, seamlessly connected space, Easy Automation delivers custom automation solutions that are tailored to your lifestyle. Whether you're upgrading your home entertainment, streamlining your office tech, or enhancing the atmosphere in your restaurant or sports bar, they've got you covered. Their expert team designs and installs personalized systems from smart lighting and climate control to audio-video distribution and robust Wi-Fi networks, all managed through an intuitive app on your favorite device. Easy Automation makes technology work for you, effortlessly, reliably, and always with your satisfaction guaranteed. Visit easy-automation.net or call Dan 630-730-3728 and take control of your environment today. Car Con Carne is also sponsored by Exploding House Printing. Exploding House can help with all of your screen printing, your embroidery, and merch needs. If you're in a band and if you're a musician, this is your team. This is your guy. Jonathan at Exploding House is your guy. They're totally local. They're over in Hermosa doing their thing, and they focus on small businesses, bands, brands. And they've worked on products for the Music Box, the Empty Bottle, Dante's Pizzeria, the Broke Downs, even Devin K. and the Solutions. They worked with all of them. Go to explodinghouseprinting.com to see the entire list. But back to Jonathan. He's been doing this for a very long time, for decades. How long have you been at the same job? Probably not decades. That's how long Jonathan's been doing his thing, and he knows what he's doing. Besides technical expertise, he delivers production efficiency and cost awareness so we can offer boutique print shop quality at much lower large print shop prices. Check him out on Instagram at Exploding House, or go at Exploding House, or go to their website, explodinghouseprinting.com, and get yourself a quote. Bass drum of death is everything you want from what we'll call garage rock. Fuzzy, scuzzy guitars, late-night dive bar swagger, lo-fi vibes, big head-bobbing verses, sing-alongable hooks. They're an amazing band, and they're in Chicago at the Beat Kitchen as I'm recording this, but also touring America through the end of November. And I'm here with John Barrett, the main man, the guy behind Bass Drum of Death. All right, so we are outside Beat Kitchen. We're on Hoyne. We're on the northwest side of Chicago. You're back in Chicago. Chicago's a great place for you. You recorded that live album over at Cobra Lounge here.
Yeah, we did a live record, I guess it was 2 years ago now. And we did Cobra Lounge over 2 nights because we figured, at least one of those would be usable. So yeah, we got a good one. And I think we actually went with like the looser performance. So there's little ticks and fuck ups. Can I say? Yeah. There's little fuck ups like all through it, but it kind of adds to the character. And we had never done a full live record before, so this was a fantastic place to do it. It's Chicago's always been very, very great to us.
And I know you never have enough time to explore when you're on the road, or do you?
Not really. I don't drink anymore, and I've done some tours. I did a tour of Europe when I wasn't drinking. And it was wild how much more time you have in the morning.
I bet.
I made that kind of a priority, because you would get up and van call wouldn't be till 10 or whatever, and you're up at 8, and you're like, well, I have an hour here, and so I've tried to do more of that, but generally it's a bit tough, unless you have an off day or something like that. It's a bit tough unless the venue is like right in the middle of, stuff that's cool to go visit.
For sure. And interestingly, even though you don't drink anymore, which congratulations, I know that's not necessarily the easiest thing in the world, you do make music that sounds really good with a beer in your hand.
Yeah, I mean, most of all of my records have been made when I was drinking. So that's probably plays something into it. And I mean, I think that's, having beers and driving. I like to make music that I think would be fun to drive to, whether that be like a kind of a
But drive at
cruise.
night, yeah, we've
It's got
to be dark out.
Yeah, we've actually got a song on the new record called Night Ride. So yeah, I mean, bullseye, I guess.
And Night Ride is the album closer. It's the longest song on the album. It's kind of epic. It's dreamy. It kind of builds momentum, and I love that. And then it just builds into this like relentless jam that wraps the whole thing up. Was that written, or was that something you bashed around in the studio?
Yeah, that was written. I kind of just I kind of had the demo for it, and I was just kind of messing around and just like kind of kept it going for a long time, and then just kind of that's about as jammy as we get, and it's still pretty structured still, but it sounds jammy. So that's I don't know. That's really cool, and we've been kind of rehearsing it live. We haven't played it like at a show yet, but we want to bring it out one of these days because it's really fun, and also too, it kind of was like one of those things where when we were doing that in the studio, it was so much fun. I was like, well, maybe we need a few more of these guys in the repertoire. So I mean, I think it'd be fun to do a few more that are in that same sort of vein.
So the new album is 6. It's awesome. And to your point, it kind of strikes this really remarkable balance in that a lot of it does sound raw and like you guys were just kind of fucking around and you found magic. But in reality, there's a lot more behind it.
Yeah, I mean, we went in with Jeremy Ferguson, who engineered and produced, and he's got a great studio in East Nashville, and he's known our band for a long time, and he works a lot with bands that kind of have a similar thing going on, like he's worked with White Reaper and Be Your Own Pet and Cage Elephant, and so he kind of knows. He's got a really good ear for having getting things to sound dirty but also clear, and that's one thing that we've kind of been. It's a lot harder to do that than it sounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we kind of nailed it, and he was very good at understanding what we were kind of going for, like sound wise, and I mean, the whole recording process was relatively painless because he made it so easy, and we were, he kind of knew what we were going for off from the jump. So it made it pretty easy for us to get in there and kind of do our thing.
I think it's cheap to compare one band to another, but with a podcast, because I can't play a song on a podcast, like
right.
Sometimes I find that's the easiest way for someone listening, like, I don't know, Bass Drum of Death. I mean, I hear elements of the Jesus and Mary Chain and Iggy Pop and T-Rex and some more kindred spirits, whether it's Black Keys or Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. Like, I hear all of that, all those elements kind of pouring in here.
Yeah, I mean, one of my all-time favorites is a band called the Ravenettes.
Yes.
And I love how they they are the masters at having something sound so nasty and distorted, but also very clear. And, and they are inspired heavily by the Jesus and Mary Chain, who are also one of my favorites. And I think we kind of take some of that, and Ravenettes are super poppy though. And so and as well. So like, I never want to lose, kind of that element. But yeah, that's, I mean, all of that stuff that you said is kind of what I'm shooting for, I suppose, and kind of adding stuff in here and there. ZZ Top, I'm a big ZZ Top fan.
Really?
And also, and one of the things I've learned is ZZ Top is almost an impossible band to try to emulate. It's just they have this thing that they do so well, and so you either do it, you try to do it and it comes off like incredibly shitty, or you have to do it and it just sounds like exactly like ZZ Top. They're pretty much impossible to emulate. So I've tried my best without getting too on the nose. So there's definitely, I'll try to just add elements here and there so it's not too obvious or whatever. But they're one of those bands that's just kind of incredible in that they have their own thing, and it's so their own thing. It's like almost impossible to even get near it.
Yeah, they are genre agnostic.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But ZZ Top kind of built what they did on top of a blues backbone.
Right.
I mean, are there traces of that in what you do? Like
Yeah.
the kind of elemental?
Yeah,
rock and
for
roll
sure. And I think that's probably comes a lot from the fact that, I taught myself how to play guitar, and like learning like kind of rudimentary sort of blues stuff is fairly simple. So I think that a lot of that kind of comes through like the original stuff I was learning and teaching myself how to play when I first started playing. So that's just kind of the stuff that comes easy. And also too, I wouldn't say I've been influenced a lot by blues, but definitely been influenced by people who were influenced by blues. So yeah, there's definitely some of that in there as well.
What does rock and roll mean to you?
I think that's a tough one. I think it's just kind of doing kind of what you want musically, and not really giving a fuck about the outcome, whether that be, how many tickets you sell or records or whatever. It's basically doing something that you can get really excited about and kind of let loose, and and you can stand behind,
You open this album, again, the new album 6, you open this album with a song that encapsulates everything you just said.
Intro?
Well, okay. We're not counting that.
Right.
We're going right to Phantom Trip.
Oh, cool.
Which is, that's just 4 on the floor. This is who we are. It's an awesome, like, propulsive way to kick things off.
Yeah, I had kind of a weird sort of like, I don't know if it's like kind of Middle Eastern sounding riff that I was kind of tooling around with. And then, just kind of paired that up with, kind of a more elements that are kind of very familiar to us. And I was like, this is a pretty cool mix. Basically it was kind of different and, familiar at the same time. And also too, I thought it'd be a really, really, really fun one to play live, just because it chugs along, and and it is fun to play live. So that's good. That helps.
Knowing what we talked about with you touring and trying to see what you can do, nothing is. It plays out like a declaration of needing a mental health day, lyrically at least.
Yeah, pretty much, and it's kind of tongue in cheek because a lot of my friends and family and people that know me well, like, kind of joke with me about like, oh, you have today off or stuff like that, because from the outside looking in, it just looks like I sit around the house all day. And so yeah, it's a little bit tongue in cheek, but yeah, it also is kind of an ode to wanting to shut your phone off and just have a day where like nobody's calling you, or there's no bills you have to attend to, or nothing, don't have to take the trash out. You just want a day to fucking do nothing sometimes.
And we should all put the phone away.
Yeah, every once in a while. I'm the worst about it, but so I tried to do it when the occasion calls for it.
So you do your socials and all that,
right?
Is social media a force for good or for evil?
I don't know, man. The further we go, it seems like evil.
Yeah, it does.
Nowadays, I don't know. It's nice to be able to keep up with friends, and I think that was kind of the original point of it. And now it's just morphed into this like kind of
way to lose friends.
Yeah, pretty much. It's maybe a necessary evil. I don't know. It's really kind of, it's strange how it's kind of taken a turn, but, I enjoy using it because, for the band and stuff, because you're able to, at no point ever before this have people had access to
100%. Yeah.
The good and the bad. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a really tricky thing. So that's kind of my non-answer. But it's an
answer though.
Yeah, it's complicated, I suppose.
And I think you said the most important thing for a musician, like this is your way to build community. Truly.
Pretty much, yeah. And it's cool because clearly you can't be in all these cities that you're playing in,
right,
physically putting up posters and all that.
Exactly.
And so it's a good way for that, and it's made the world smaller in that way. So people, bands like us that have kind of are in like a certain niche, we can kind of scratch it out and reach people that we think would be into it. But yeah, it is tricky. It's a kind of a crazy world, seeing how it's gone on in the past, 10, 15 years since it kind of came on the scene.
Going back to this idea that the record sounds like you're just making shit happen in the studio. Got a Feeling is recorded in such a way that it sounds like it was captured like one take live, plugging in the guitar at the beginning of the song. There's that noise like you're plugging the guitar into the amp. It sounds like it's just live to tape, like one and done.
Yeah, it's I think it probably was. We probably didn't do very many takes. I mean, it's not a very difficult song to play, and it's a pretty straightforward little groove there. But yeah, that's a fun one, and yeah, I think I'd just kind of been tooling around with it and like made a demo of it, and I was like, yeah, let's get it in here and see if we can kind of spruce it up a little bit sound wise and make it a little bit more interesting with kind of some effects and some things here and there, but like not lose the essence of it. So yeah, that was a really fun one, and a nice little kind of midway, nice little halftime for the record, I guess.
I want to get back to that idea of thinking in terms of sequencing and album sides, but there's kind of a sleeper, I think, on the B side, Living in My Head, more of a mid-tempo song. All kinds of cool guitar shit happening on this one.
Yeah, to be honest, that was probably one of my favorites on the record, and that was one that I was kind of wanting to have as the first single. And we kind of all decided as a team, kind of got input from a lot of people, and landed on Do Nothing as the single. But Living in My Head has been one of my favorites like since we recorded it, just because I was pretty proud of myself for that riff.
It's awesome.
It's there's every time you think that there's no more riffs that you can find, something like that kind of pokes its head out. So I was kind of relieved that I was one of those moments where I was like, oh yeah, cool, still got it a little bit, So yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites.
And I love the fact that you really are mindful about the album sequencing, and you think in terms of side one, side two, because you're a record collector, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's. I think it does make a difference, and I think you can notice that especially a lot in the like older records, like 60s, 70s. That was a big deal, and yeah, I mean, and it's kind of cool now because you can sequence it to where it works for an LP, but also works for streaming, and yeah, so that's just another little kind of fun puzzle that you get to solve when you put out a record. So we always have a good time with that, and there's always a group chat with a 4-week-long group chat finally before we settle on something. So
are you, when you do have your downtime in cities, are you looking at record stores? Are you going through bins? Are you bringing stuff back home?
Yeah, sometimes. I got a new car that has a tape player, so I've kind of
tape player, like a cassette deck.
Yeah, I've kind of been more of a tape collector recently, and so I do. And also too, when I travel, tapes are a little bit easier to stuff in luggage and
for
stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't do as much of that as I should. Just records are a bit hard to travel, especially when you're in a van and you're out for months, and everything you own kind of just gets wrecked. So it's a bit harder, but I do try to pop my head in to places every now and again when there's somewhere close by or somewhere that's cool that's been recommended or something like that.
All right. So again, the new album is 6. You're touring the U.S. really like through most of the fall, yes?
Yeah, pretty much until Thanksgiving.
You're busy. And so I appreciate you taking time out.
Absolutely.
To do this. And congrats. I mean, it seems like you're just in a good place now.
Yeah, we're really proud of this thing, and we're kind of, this is the second record I've done with the boys, my brother Jim and Ian, our drummer. And so we're working really well as a unit, both in the studio and live, and just in the van and all the in between bits and bobs where it gets pretty complicated on tour. So yeah, everything's been great. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So yeah, we're excited to still be able to do it after all these years, for sure.
Hell yes. All right, John, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.